Okay, hello everyone, welcome to my first video on YouTube. Myself, Beardy Sim Pilot. I've done a few posts on Instagram. I just thought I'd start my first video for YouTube really. Here we are at Gatwick Airport. The BEA classic livery, the British Airways, had up until very recently, I believe. I think the aircraft's now due to be scrapped. It was an A319. Unfortunately I never got to see it, despite the fact I live quite close to Gatwick. A few other airports. Never got around to seeing it, unfortunately. But anyway, here we are at Gatwick ground. Today we're going to be doing just a short flight. It's my first video just to make sure things go okay. We're going to be going to Manchester, Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. Now, I'm not a real world pilot, purely just sim. I've been doing it since about 1998. Took a long break when I think after Flight Sim X came out, and then they sort of closed it all down. Got back into it when this one came out, and in between I played a bit of DCS. But anyway, enough about that. As you can see, this is my favourite livery at the moment. They've really gone into some detail, and it's a shame that there's not going to be flying anymore really. I'm using the freeware scenery from FlightSim.2 of Gatwick Airport. Next to us you can see a couple of, we've got Ryanair, we've got an EasyJet, a couple of EasyJets in the background, British Airways. We've got the tunnel connected, external power connected. I haven't done anything in the aircraft yet. I'll then load my navigraphs up on my second screen, which you can see there, and we'll move that back. This is purely just a video for people like me that just like to, sometimes you don't want to play it, or you haven't got the facilities to play it, and you like to just sometimes sit in your living room and watch really. Sometimes you learn a couple of things along the way. I've learned pretty much all of my stuff from A20N Sim Pilot on YouTube. He was a pilot that, like everyone else, really got put on furlough during lockdown. Did loads of videos throughout that period. I think just before that as well. But I got into it during lockdown, and just watching his videos. Really, he's got loads of tutorial videos. He's got his own internet page, so definitely recommend going and check that out if you're just getting into it. Want to learn some tips. This is the fly-by-wire model, as opposed to the standard flight sim model that you get. They've done something. This is a freeware. If you haven't got it already, you don't know about it. This is a freeware that you can download from fly-by-wire, and it adds a lot more to the aircraft. It's all done for free. You don't pay anything for it. Great team. They've done some great updates. It makes it that much more immersive. And like I said, you watch A20N Sim Pilot. It will teach you all we need to know about the aircraft, getting it going. I learn a lot of things and I forget them the next week, so I have to rewatch the videos due to my day job. Don't get to play this all the time, but anyway, here we go. Let's jump into the cockpit. As you can see, we're in a cold and dark state. I'm just gonna, I will read some of the checklist out, but most of it I will just sort of go through as a process. Let's get the batteries switched on. Let's get that volume turned up a bit so you can hear the excellent noises from the aircraft. We've got external power available because the truck's connected, so that's switched on. Okay, let's get the APU test. It's the fire alarm test. You can hear the cockpit air conditioning system starting up. Right, so we've done the APU fire test. External power is on. Cockpit lights. It's just, sometimes this is easier for streaming if you have this all lit up. Let's look at screens. Now I'm going to try with the Flight Sim air traffic control today. We'll see how we go. To be honest, it's very intermittent at the moment. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it brings you in front of RLS about 5,000 feet above where you should be. Let's get this integral lighting down here. Let's also get this one turned up, the autopilot unit. Alright, so cockpit lights, parking brake. Now I'm using the Thrustmaster Captain Pack. So some things I'll be clicking down by my side. You might not see me do it, but I am doing it. I'll try and show you when I remember. So the parking brake, as you can see, is set down there. Flaps are up, speed brake is disarmed and retracted. The window heat, let's get that on. Let's get the AP up and running, get the heat running in the aircraft. So we hit the master there, wait a couple of seconds, wait for the fuel to start flowing, and then we'll hit start. Let's get this nav lights on, let's return to the back. As you can see, the APU running there at the back. Through the exhaust, the little flap open, which we can see inside the cockpit here. We can see the flap open. There's the APU running and warming up. So let's get rid of some of these. The overhead, so fuel pump's going to come on. Crew supply. Rain repellent check, exterior perform, we'll set the exterior check to performed, so we can't really do that. Ground recorder, let's get that on, let's test it. There we go, that's working. Let's get the ideas. Now these would normally take, I don't know, about 12 minutes, 15 minutes to start up. Oh, I've got mine set to instant. So ideas are on, 1, 3, then 2. Exterior lights, let's get the no smoking to auto. We'll leave the seatbelt signs off for the time being. We haven't loaded passengers yet. Let's get the emergency lighting to arm. Backflow cams. Let's check the voltage. Drop and then increase. Number 2, drop. Increase. Perfect. Fuel pumps are all on. Let's test engine 1 fire. Perfect. Engine 2 fire. All working perfectly. Okay, now let's come down to the MCDU. Now I'm using SimBrief, so we're going to go into the ATSU. This is where my flight plan is going to load them directly from SimBrief. So go to init press. David. There we go. Oh, Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. Need to have about 43 minutes. Okay, so if we go down, let's request the passenger numbers. There they all are, and we'll start them boarding. That'll take some time. Let's grab. Oh, I've clicked. Let's check the ATS.
Wind 080 at 7. Visibility tree. Sky condition. Ceiling 9,700 feet broken. Temperature 5. 2.10. Altimeter tree 0.12.
08 right departure. Perfect, that's what I've got my plan. Information golf. Okay, let's go back to Gatwick clearance. Boom, 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 boom. And let's go into init, an init request. I'll load our route. So we're going to be Spielberg 186. Don't know how it's going to come out on air traffic control flights, so it tends to come out a bit different. If I was on VATSIM, that's what I'd use. So BAW 186. The cost index is 46, cruise flight 240 at -32 at that altitude. We'll go load up the fuel. So what's it saying? 9795. Let's get only a short flight. Let's go for that. I expect to go a little bit over the under. Again, my refueling is set to instant rather than real time because it can take quite a while. For anyone interested, this is load it in from SimBrief. Again, this you can all load it in from the SimBrief or plan. If we go back to OFP, this is the plan I'm working from. So you can see the everything you need. You know, your weights, your cost indexes, your wind, your fuel. Here's our routing. So this is what the routing is giving us today. So departing 08 right on a Lamy 10 departure. From there we'll go to LAN, and then we'll take the airway November 57 to Welling, and then we'll take Tango 420 TNT, and then we'll do a Denny 2 Alpha approach into 23 left at Manchester, depending on what the ATIS says and whether it coincides with what Simbury says. Sometimes it tells me on this Toledo to land on one runway. When I actually get there, it's completely different, which is very helpful. Right, let me get that. Before I forget, let's get the APU bleed on, which means we can get rid of that. Which means, in turn, we can get rid of the vehicle which we plugged in, which is this one just down here. See, it's running away now. Okay, so from that, we should be able to do our weights, our fuel planning. Let's confirm. Again, I'm going to miss out things on this, do excuse me. Let's go for 55. I might get things wrong. Let's load up our speeds. We'll go for flat 1 departure. So V1 134, VR 135, and V2 139. Let's have a look at the SIDS. So the standard instrument departure for Gatwick, and I said we are going via a LAN 1 Zulu departure. So it says transition altitude of 6,000, which is what we've got here. Just for anyone wondering, this is what I'm looking at. So we're transition altitude of 6,000. Level 1 Zulu departure, maximum 250 knots below flight level 10, unless otherwise authorised. Now, the aircraft will try and fly this, which is correct. This is really what we should be doing unless told otherwise. Knowing the air traffic controller of the game is probably going to tell us to go up to like 10,000 straight away. So we'll have to manually input into the aircraft. If we go back to taxi, let's get which one we can use. Here we are. So we're going to go for 8 right departure. So let's be going to be Juliet down, all the way down to be honest, I think. Juliet down, cross almost the threshold to 0 left, probably hold at one of these, either Juliet 1, 2, 3, 4, and ask my head at 4, depending on how busy it is. With the air traffic control from the game, it's probably doing that in the background. Let's put that back over here. Before it's on the game, I'll probably just have to hold right by the runway, get clearance. Okay, let's contact tower, let's get our clearance to Manchester.
Delivery, Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 ready to copy IFR clearance to Manchester.
So I'll shut down in just a second, just make sure I get this right. Get to Manchester, so we go straight away, climb and maintain 7,000.
Take off runway 08 right climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure
7,000 feet. Squawk 00. Squawk 0225. 0225. Let's go switch to auto, that's our squawk put in.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 cleared to Manchester Airport as filed. Take off runway 08 right climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure on 118.4756.
So in reality, like you do on VATSIM, I don't use VATSIM very often, I must admit, I've only done it a few times. We'll be announcing ourselves to the tower, or whoever's on, to be honest, ground, clearance, tower, centre, whoever's taken the calls. We'd announce, Speedbird 186 as type A320neo at gate 12, QNH 3012. What else we do? With information, I can't remember what the information was now. The ATIS clearance we got, and then request clearance, and then they would give you the same. They'd confirm your departure, so allow me 1 Zulu departure, give you a squawk, and further instructions on their departure frequencies, and then either, depending on who's on their tow, to go to ground for pushback, taxi, and then on to tower. Anyway, let's stop wrapping on. Right, so we've done that, so we've got the IFR clearance. Take off, done all that, introduction, flaps, take off. Oh, their shield, FCU. Some of these, I'll be honest, I don't know what a lot of them mean. I haven't got the time to really knuckle down and learn everything. And so I apologise for that. Crew supply, let's just check. that is on. So just remember, a lot of the time, the checklist it's not necessarily telling you to do something, it's checking things that most of the time you've normally done in your flows. It's the instrument panel, central, and standby altitude indicator. Yeah, anti-skid should be on, which it is. Go down here, this should all be off, which it is. Engine masters are all off. Engine mode sector is norm, just down here. Again, I'm looking at my one next to me, but on the screen that's where it is. Gravity gear extender stowed, I don't think that's even used. Squawk is checked 0225. So, sorry, I'm looking at nothing. I'm looking at my checklist on the other screen. Load down, check, takeoff, prepare and check, seat belts adjust, MCDU and takeoff config, seat belt external power is off and disconnected. Windows and doors, let's get those closed. Let's make sure they're all. Yep, everyone's on board. So let's go ahead and get rid of the walkway. There it goes. Okay, so we're on to engine startup, so let's go and contact the ground. I may get a bit confused if I get the tug involved. Let's create our taxi iPhone now.
Gatwick ground, Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
You've mentioned golf, that was it?
Ready to taxi IFR.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 taxi to an hold short at runway 08 right using taxiway Juliet Mike Zulu Juliet. Contact.
Okay, so instead of going that way around, we're going to go that way around to Juliet Mike Zulu. Which you'll see here, back Juliet Mike Zulu, back onto Juliet.
Taxiing hold short runway 08 right via taxiway Juliet Mike Zulu Juliet Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
Okay, let's get our pushback tool. Sometimes, most of the time it doesn't work properly for me. It's very, very good when it works properly, you know, you get the communication, that they lift the aircraft nose up. But a lot of the time it doesn't do that for me. I don't know if it's because of the fly-by-wire or because of the Gatwick ground scenery I've got. Anyway, it's it's not going to work. Anyway, call it tug over. We will get that beacon light switched on so that everyone around us knows what's going on. Which will be this little light here on the top and a little red one underneath. Actually, while we've got let's just check. Oh, the aircraft in the terminal. Sort of. Okay, so no one behind us. Let's push back. Now I'll do the startup when we push. Normally I'll do it whilst we're pushing back, but to give you the sound effects and stuff, we'll push back, line up, we'll start up. Okay, so let's release that parking brake. As you can see, I've released that now. Very important. Let's lock that door. Let's go to the external view for the pushback. I'm sure we're all used to this view, especially those of us that are aviation enthusiasts. Listen to all the sounds, listen to what's going on, what's starting up, going through the procedures almost with them. Also, I apologise in advance if my cat comes in. I have a very vocal cat that loves attention, loves you to hear her voice. Okay, so here we are, taxiway Juliet. Start that turn. I'm no professional tug driver. This is almost an art form in my eyes, especially some of the staff I think that do this, so I won't be as accurate as they are. Let's just hold. Let's go back into the cockpit. Let's get that parking brake set. Stop. Should see the tug. And then leave. Cheers. Thank you, tug. We can now get rid of this. Okay, so engine startup. We're going to start with engine 2 first. We're going to switch the engine to ignition. Mode selected to ignition. I'm just going to go to, as we're all used to, you can hear the air conditioning sort of stop. I'll go for the sounds. Let's jump into the cabin. So that's engine 2 start. Whenever it's all up and running, because you'll hear that famous dog bark. There it is. Sounds like a dog barking underneath you. So I go for number one start. Then 2 is rising. There we go, got fuel flowing. And the big fan starting to move. As you can see, not the best taxi, but never mind. At least they went outside the lines. And the nose steering's on the main one. Okay. So I'm going to wait for that to show available. Up here. There we go. So after engine start up, so you can see the air cons will come back on now. So now we can, I'll do it on my controls, but I'll show you. Put that back to engine mode, back to normal. APU bleed can come off, as can the APU. Rudder trim, we'll just confirm by pressing the button. You can see here it says 0. Flap levers. Let's get those to take off. guess my cat has just walked in. Okay. Just had to mute the microphone there. Oh, here she is. Hello. Right. Let's go back to the cockpit. So that's flaps are set. She's going to be quite loud today. So speed brake, pull it up, it's going to set. Ecam stations is checked. APU master is off, engine main, anti-ice, we don't need that. Okay. Taxi clearance, we've already obtained that. So let's switch to taxi light and the nose wheel steering light on. Always brakes on, I'm going to switch them to max at the moment, which will be here, just because I find it a bit of an issue sometimes. They get stuck on before takeoff. So working my way down the list. We've already gone through our speeds. Flight directors are on. Flight instruments are checked. Weather radar is currently in op. And terrain, as you can see here, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm sure it's because they're working on their own version of it. It makes it look more complex than it was at the start. Squad code. It's confirmed. Takeoff config button. We've already pressed that. You can take off, no blue. Okay. Strobe light can go to auto. So let's do our flight controls check. As you see, it will automatically change here when I start doing them. So let's full down, full up, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and I did a rudder, full right, full left, neutral. Okay, and then just as we pull away, we will. Oh, I knew I'd forget that. There's no more. Let's get these on now. Predicted wind shear. Okay, so just as we put away, we will check the brakes. Now, yeah. They work well. Okay, so let's go. So we're on Juliet. I'm just going to turn onto Mike. Watching our ground speed here. I'll keep that sort of. Well, I like to keep it sort of around 15 or less to go around the bends. 30 in a straight line, and try and keep the taxiway relatively in line with this bit here. That tends to keep it pretty straight. Okay, I believe these are carbon brakes in this aircraft, so you don't want to keep tapping them. You want to wear them out. So you want to reduce in a one big lump, and then let the aircraft slowly speed up again and do it again. That way we're not excessively wearing out the discs. Okay. We all know the big walkway there if you've been there or walked across that. Okay, so just going to hit the brakes a little bit. So that's down to 13. See, we're quite light, so we don't need much power, and it just wants to go. So you can see we're back on Back on the Juliet now. So you can see that speed just creeping up there now. It's 30, so I'm just gonna dab on the brakes. Let's give that little wing shot again quickly and just line up. I seem to have some lines in my graphics today, which is the first time I've ever seen that. I know there's a lot of issues at the moment with live weather. In fact, why don't we switch that off? Let's go for slow down a little bit. Just in the background creeping up. Let's go for a few clouds. There we go, it's a bit more like today. Hopefully that doesn't mess up our air traffic control too much. I'll tell you what I haven't done. Let's just slow the aircraft down. Just want to do this. I haven't actually done my departure. Echo Golf Kilo departure 08 right. It was loud. This is why it's handy having when you have a co-pilot. That 1Z. Just check there's nothing on approach for that runway. Right left. And just slowing down for the corner. Bring it round. Set that parking brake. Okay. Right, I'm going to just get the transponder to TARA. Okay. Let's get our auto brake to max. Let's let see if that works yet. No, not yet.
Tower Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 ready for departure runway 08 right IFR to Manchester.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 altimeter 29er 21270 at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right.
The winds have probably significantly changed since the live weather, but never mind.
Cleared for takeoff runway
Right.
08 right Skybird
So,
Bravo Alpha
before we
Whiskey
enter
186.
let's start moving. Let's get those lights on. Let's let the strobe light can come on. Doesn't seem to want to let the cabin crew know.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
There we go. So the arrows are here, which means you can take off here, but you shouldn't land here. Okay. Landing strobes. See, that's why we do our checks. Taxi light to take off. Flaps are set. Pre-rest set. Okay. Go. Let's get around 50%. Good rise. And toga. Stick down. You can see just in front of me. You can see where my stick is when I put it back in a second. I'm going to go back to 80 knots. So then I'm going to release the pressure to neutral. There we go. Back to neutral. Everything's looking good. Approaching V1. Yeah, hands off the throttle and put back V1 rotate. It's a positive rate, so the gear can come up. We can disable the auto brake, spoilers, don't need those armed anymore, so disarm those. Autopilot 1.
Going to 118.475 Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
Speed to London Centre.
London Centre Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 is at
I'm going to put that into manual because otherwise that's going to maintain restrictions, which is right, but flight sim doesn't like it. Pull these back to climb. Clear to land. To take off APU bleed as required, you must have required interface selector is normal, TCAS is TARA. You can turn the wrong, turn that down a little bit. We can turn the runway lights, steering lights off, turn the nose taxi light off, as those wheels are now tucked up in the underbelly of the aircraft. I am running on multiplayer, but I haven't got people's name tags up because they come up everywhere at once. Oh, flaps 1, they can come up. Missed that alert, there's the green dot. Almost went into those people flaps. So as you can see here, you should be above 3,000 feet once you get here. 250 knot max. 5,000 max the next one. Obviously we've been cleared above that. I don't know how much I've had in real life, but it's in clear that's up to 7,000. Now the QNH, so above transition altitude now, which is 6,000. I'd love to change it over to standard, but again, flight sim gets a bit funny about that. If I go to the altitude that then says, it will then say that I'm at the incorrect altitude. So here we are then, leveling off at 7,000, speed on nav, and speed on nav, there we go. Air conditioning is at 24, let's just put that down a little bit. As you can see the insane graphics from Microsoft Flight Simulator there. I am running in Ultra. Pretty much everything, I think. Does my computer like it? It's not too bad. I mean, the GPU's 3060 NVIDIA, 12GB. I've only got, I've got 16GB, I've got 32GB, I think 16, which I want to improve. got an i5 10K processor.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, please expedite your climb 14,000 feet.
Oh, apparently, without telling us, it's angry that we're not going to 14,000. So, thrust climb, hop climb, altitude nav. Again, I've got to put it out because otherwise it will try and do the restrictions. It will try and do the right thing. How dare it? Quick look out the windows where you can. Right, let's do a nice bank to the left. See if we can. What else have we got? So if I stand, let me show you the standard departure. Standard instrument departure. Quickly before we turn. There we go. So you can see where we are now. Heading up to land where we were cleared to. Bring that back across. You see all the scratches on the window. They've really put their attention to detail. The sim on a lot of aircraft, not just this one. I've got a lot of just fly aircraft. We've got the Piper Warrior. Again, we've got the the white marks where it's been cleaned, where it's been scratched from the inside and the outside. You get finger marks. I'd love to tell you how long I've been flying this aircraft now. I really can't remember. About a year, give or take. Aside from this, I like to fly the DA62. Comes with the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and if you go to FlightSim.2 again, you can download free add-ons where people take their own time essentially to make the aircraft better and more realistic. So I find that really helps. It's very much more immersive. You realise how different it is to the standard aircraft. When I still fly the Piper Warrior, I haven't flown it for a while, but again, a very, very detailed aircraft. Just check the cockpit because I'm pretty sure we've gone over our. Yeah, we've got 12,000 now, so landing lights can come off, seat belts can come off, it's free to roam around. So, yeah, the Piper Warrior, DA62, this A20N BEA. I've just brought the Just Flight Hawk T1A, incredibly detailed aircraft. Again, you'll need to do some revision. There's a lot to it. They give you a lot of paperwork with it, but the detail is just incredible. They worked with actual pilots to get as much detail to it as possible, to make it as realistic as possible. So I thoroughly enjoy that. It's a very different style of flying. Everything happens a lot quicker. Taking off before you're passing 300 knots, and you need to make sure you know where you're going because you're going to get there pretty quick. What else? Oh, Grob Tutor. I've also recently got that from, I think it's Iris Simulations. And the main reason I've got that is because the first aircraft I ever flew, like a lot of people joining RAF cadets in high school, 13 I think I was, first got on a plane, first got on an aircraft, and I'll never forget it. I think it was Boston, RAF Boston down. And the pilot took me out was actually, I think it was a British Airways pilot, ex-RAF, that does it in his spare time, takes cadets up in a Grob Tutor. If you don't know much about it, it's a two-seater aircraft, pretty small, but pretty powerful, a single engine, capable of aerobatics, so they love taking it up doing loop-to-loop barrel rolls. I remember getting a booster cushion. We'll get a booster cushion in RAF on a lot of planes. I don't know about fast jets and stuff, but obviously everyone's a different height. If the seats can't be adjusted, your eyesight needs to be in the correct place. So they help you out. You've got your parachute on your back because they give you parachutes. You get your booster cushion, really makes you feel like a kid. So yeah, temperature. So we're just below the clouds, -13. Yeah, they give you a booster cushion, and so no, yeah, you get in. It's got a lovely open canopy. You can look all around. It's a big glass or cockpit that slides backwards forwards over your head to open and close. And what's unusual about the Grob Tutor is that with a lot of aircraft, we're flying flight simulator, a lot of other aircraft, you'll fly in the left seat, and if you've got an observer, a viewer, or co-pilot, they'll sit in the seat to the right. But on the Grob Tutor, it's the other way around. The pilot will sit in the right-hand seat, and their observer or instructor will sit in the left-hand seat. The reason being is that it's got a joystick. So the joystick's in the centre, the throttle's on your left if you sit in the right-hand seat. And bear in mind, a lot of people that are going to fly the Grob Tutor will go into fast jets. In fast jets, the control layout's the same. Joystick in the middle, throttle on your left. So it's an easy transition between the two.
Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, descend and maintain 14,000 feet.
Don't know, we'll possibly go standard now. Let's go see what standard says. Let's check.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet, Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
But yeah, so great aircraft. First time I flew up in it, yeah, started doing loop-to-loops, negative G, your notepad starts flying and floating in front of you. Did a few steep turns, and that was it. It's in my blood. Great aircraft to die on, to be honest. Absolutely loved it. Whether it's just because it was an aircraft, who knows. Still don't quite know how I got into aircraft. The earliest I can remember is 1998 flight simulator. I got that from a cheap shop somewhere. Had our first computer. We got a white box, and I remember playing that on the computer. And I just got really into it, and from there I was buying PS1 games. Wing Over 2 was an aircraft game, like a fighter plane game. Anything that involved flying. G Police was a futuristic sort of aircraft for when you're policing. It was on PS1. And I think that was it. That's my earliest memory. I remember going to the airports with my granddad and my family when I was younger. And now here we are. Still a hobby of mine, as you can see. I absolutely love it. Right, so why have we come away? Oh, I tell you why. Let's discontinue. Yeah, discontinuity in the MCDU. So let's go direct to Welling. Temporary direct. Let's bring it back on course. Forgot about that. There we go, so it's going to take us direct to Welling. Good job I looked. What else have I flown? Let's have a little drink. So the Grob Tutor, the Vigilant, which is like a powered glider, and it has got an engine on the front which they use to take off, and then you're pretty much gliding from there on, really. Again, that was in the RF Odium, I think I did that from. I was meant to go up in a glider, but that didn't happen due to the weather. Chinook, went up in a Chinook, the back of a Chinook. Make that very clear, I did not fly the Chinook, I did not get anywhere near the cockpit. A load of us went, I think they had a private school there who were having like a show and tell of the aircraft. Their fathers was a pilot, I don't know. And so they had the Chinook at their school on the big field of theirs, and we sort of just turned up, hopped in back, and they gave us a lift back to our school, back to the city where our school is. And that was incredible. I think that's the only helicopter I've ever been in, but it's quite something. It's surreal going up vertically rather than taking off on a runway. And then they just throw the aircraft forward, almost nose down to the floor, as a way of sort of saying goodbye and getting that maximum sort of start. And then that's it, you're away. And they fly along with the rear door open. The chap in the back, the air crewman, just sits at the back or stands at the back with his little seatbelt harness connected to the aircraft, and putting all his faith in that man-made object. He says he's on a helicopter, but you know, little seatbelt stopping you from falling out the back of the aircraft. few thousand feet. Pretty brave, but then again, I imagine it's a very great job. That's what I do after that. So I became an adult and stopped paying for things, but paying more. I think I was paying £2 a lesson or something in the cadets for an aircraft lesson. It was half an hour, 20 minutes. Coming to real world, looking at 100 and something. So I came out, I found a couple of Cessnas, a Piper Warrior, I don't know what I'm saying, and I think that's it. Just your airliners, really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I always had an interest. I'm quite fortunate. I live about an hour away from Gatwick Airport, if that. My closest airports, Goodwood, Shoreham. Goodwood, you know, I'm very lucky. One of the Spitfires is home there now, so I get to see that flying quite a lot, especially in the summer. I'll probably never be able to go on one because it's a lot of money. They're all two-seater there. They're all one of them. And this is the famous silver Spitfire that flew around the world. That was there for the time being. Though it's now gone somewhere. I think it's been bought by someone new, so it's now gone. So that was stationed there. And yeah, Shoreham used to be, you know, my air show airport I used to go to, quite near, very good. And unfortunately, they had that horrible accident, and since then it's not been on, which is a shame. But I totally understand why. But I think even the Farnborough one, I think Farnborough was my next nearest, and that one's pretty sure that one's now stopped as well. I think it's just business, the weekend or something. But yeah, living near to Gatwick, I get a lot of the airliners flying over my head. I don't work in the aviation industry. I'd like to, maybe find a job one day, but I do not. Even looking at jobs recently, trying to get into it, like, there's just nothing really. It's a very, very difficult time for aviation to get into airports. It's very limited. They're trying to keep the stuff they've got, let alone employing more. I would normally go higher than this. I just can't bother to mess with flight sim at the moment. If I try and change things, it doesn't get very happy. So let's have a look. If you go off China arrival. We're looking at 23 left, according to SimBrief. Finding 2 Alpha. I'm just looking at my SimBrief. Actually, I haven't got any of those showing. I'm not gonna lie, if it doesn't work, I'll probably end up just switching the ATC off, doing it my own way. Alright, let's have a look. Approach, start. I've completely forgot what it was already. So I've still got Gatwick up in my maps. This is what we're looking at. So Dane 2 Alpha. So I'm just waiting for it. I'm still a bit, to be honest, trying to learn these things. So we're going to approach it at 3,500. Oh no, to runway 23 left. Sorry, I know the master somewhere, but I'm not necessarily looking at that place. 618. Mission 5. Climb straight to 3,000. Put that back on the other screen. Show you something a bit better than just the console. Don't necessarily like the sound of that. Oh, looks like I'm pressing buttons on the computer. Shouldn't be, because I'm on my second screen. Okay, let's try. Not really sure where it wants us to go to 185 knots. I'm just trying this other approach with the air traffic control to see if it works properly. I find when it says I can be vectored, it doesn't go very well.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 Manchester Center altimeter 29.9 continue to OSNAP as planned.
let's just see how that goes, I think. There we go, descend and maintain 6,000, that's what I want. 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, descend and maintain 3,500 feet.
More. You sure about that? Pretty sure I've got to be at 8,000 there.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, did you copy?
Descend and maintain
Yeah, the boss.
3,500 feet. Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
Come on. What does it want me to you? 3,500. Oh. Don't really know what I've just done there. Just to show you what's happening. Here we go. So we're approaching TNT, and then we're going to be going for the 2-3 left. Fire was that. In theory, anyway. So 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come on. Seatbelts can come on. Let's go speed brakes out. Which will then give us a great descent. Just taking some screenshots. Rude not to. Especially as everything seems to be going reasonably well. Okay, I'm going to have to go to Manila because if I don't collide with something, tell me I should be above 8,000 feet, but of course Flight Simulator is like, no, it's fine, you go down to way below that.
Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, contact Manchester approach on 135.005. Good day.
Going to 135.005. Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186. Manchester approach. Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186 is at 6,800 feet.
almost in awe of the scenery there. So you can see we're just going to be following the line now. Do you know what it is? 185 knots. So let's get down to that. So it's just going to level off, reduce the speed, and then continue to descend. Speed brakes are still out. I'll show you how we're getting on here. You can see our ground speed 217, true air speed 219.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, please expedite your descent 3,500 feet.
First notch of flaps. So it's quite misty or cloudy at the moment. Okay, speed brakes can come off. Speed out nav. As you can see, we're about to make a right turn when we get to Dane, and then from Dane we're going to Osnap, and then joining for finals. You can see here it's 3,500 knot minimum altitude and a speed restriction of 185 knots, which we're now at. But of course we're going to ignore all that because I think what I can see here is it should be at 8,000. Was that a maximum of 8,000? Oh, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I hope someone can answer that one for me. I would use the ATIS, but when I try to at the moment, it seems to not work. I'm not sure because I've got the settings right in the pad, say where the information comes from. Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, arrival, send. I'm going to wait for a message to come up, company message to come up here. There we go, company message. Received messages, it's probably going to be empty. There we go. Never mind, performance. Okay, so that's Dane. an hour here. So now we're going to be going to Osnabrück. That side's getting a bit bumpy. I guess I'm just coming onto the map. $2.99 and 2 at 15 degrees. 680. Is that the airport there? Could be the airport there. Looks about right.
2,500.
Don't know if that's going to come out of anything because it's not an ILS landing. So we're probably going to go to autopilot 1 and 2. Oh. We're just at autopilot 1.
$2,500.
Okay, so we're about to approach Osnabrück and start our left turn. We'll start lining up the wrong way. There we are. Just show you the map. As you can see, we're just lining up now. So we're coming in from the 322 degrees. We'll then track to 232 and head down to the runway. It's about 13 miles. Which is about right there.
2,500.
So let's go to the second notch of flaps. And do forgive me, I'm a bit rusty at these sort of approaches, and when we're doing ILS. So if it doesn't work, we'll have to take over ourselves. So where are we? Approaching 10, C23, 10 miles out. Let's get wrong way ahead of us. Pitch down. Oh. Let's get that landing gear out. Just need to play catch up a little bit.
$2,500. $100 above. 500.
100 above.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Minimum.
Minimum, clear to approach. We're a little below the glide path, so I'm just gonna
300.
hold there a little bit.
$200. $100. $50. $40. $30. $20. Retard.
Throttle back.
5.
Reverses. Auto brakes kicking in. engaging auto brakes. Power on. Okay, welcome to Manchester. Not the best of approaches, but nonetheless we're here. So.
Manchester Tower Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186
Now, as you can see,
miles southwest inbound
I
at
clearly
runway
forgot something.
23 left approach.
Good job, it's a flight simulator.
Alpha Whiskey 186 Manchester Tower. Altimeter 29.9, wind 271 at 8. Cleared on at runway 23 left.
Do you know what? Let's roll out. Let's let that catch up.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, you are not cleared to land. Clear the runway.
Sorry, every time I take my mouse off the screen, it stops. Okay, do you know what? Let's forget that. Let's we no longer need our spoilers armed. Oh, we're doing nothing. Can wait 3 seconds. Gonna enjoy that. Oh. Put those. Just so that we can clear the runway. A little bit quick, so I'm just gonna help the brakes. It's always the way when I'm not filming. I get the easiest approaches, the easiest runways. Every time I've tried to film, throws a spanner in the works. Get a difficult landing and difficult runway, but nonetheless we're here. So we've arrived at Manchester from Gatwick. Nothing too bad, to be honest, given the issues with flights at the moment. I think most issues were my own, to be honest. So let's turn back onto the runway. That's like ATC is going up, so let's get a taxi to the gate.
Alpha Whiskey 186 request taxi to the gate.
And try and find it.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, taxi to gate 202 using taxiway Victor Delta Victor Uniform Bravo Zulu cross runway 05 left Bravo Delta Quebec Echo November Charlie Romeo.
Just slow that down a little bit.
Taxi to gate 202 via taxiway Victor Delta.
Just want to get off this runway as soon as possible.
Runway 05 left Bravo Delta.
So
Quebec
Victor
Echo
Delta,
November Charlie Romeo Skybird
Victor
Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
Bravo Zulu. So I'm just looking at my map, so you can see we've got some traffic going inside the road here. It's the flight sim we know. Okay, so left onto Victor Delta. Just gonna come to a bit of a stop. Last here. That should do us. So park and brake. Set. APU is available. Stroke can go back to auto. Taxi lights are on. Flaps can come up. That disengaged. Yep, speed brakes disengaged. Okay, so just trying to get my head around where we're going. So Victor Delta, Victor, Uniform, Bravo Zulu, cross runway 05 left onto Bravo, continue on Bravo, take Delta and Delta onto Quebec, Quebec onto Echo, November Charlie, Romeo. Okay. Just about got my head around that. Let's put some power on, I can brake off. Get these passengers to the terminal. Oh, I'm forgetting again, if my mouse is on the right screen I can't use the controls don't work. Okay, so slowing for the turn. That's a Bravo Zulu. At which point we're going to cross runway 05 left. So I'm going to put that strobe back on, make us as visible as possible. Clear left, clear right. Sorry, that's me again. The screen. Very annoying. Okay, so Bravo onto Delta. There's that one there. Oh, looks like I can see a plane floating in the air, just over here. Okay, let's just slow that back down. So you can see it's difficult. I do enjoy Flight Simulator, but it does become quite a heavy workload. Trying to manage the aircraft, the systems, the maps, the air traffic control, and you watch these professionals do it on YouTube, and you know, they just about manage it, and it's good to watch. It's easy to put yourself down when watching them, thinking that you're not doing things right, but you are. You do the best you can do. You know, we're not pilots. It's a game. It's a flight simulator. When you look back on it, the amount you've learned is ridiculous. When you say to other people what you've been up to, they're always shocked. To be honest, you forget how much you know. So continue taxi, random vehicle driving in front of us. So we're on Delta. We want Quebec. This is where it gets confusing because things aren't exactly laid out properly. I'm just going to ignore that because it's the truck that's just gone past.
Roger, Skybird
Okay, so it
Bravo
looks
Alpha
like
Whiskey 186.
going right here. November Charlie onto Romeo. Okay, I'm just gonna hold position.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
Oh, there we go, it's convenient.
Caution other traffic.
Okay, right, and then 202 is on the left.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, continue taxi.
Thank you.
Roger, Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. .202. Just gonna switch these off so we don't blind the ground people. Some random vehicle that wants to come in front of us.
186, hold position, caution other traffic. Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
And now the game's got confused. Got quite an aggressive ground person here, doesn't want to move.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186, acknowledge last transmission.
Just gonna pretend we can't see
Roger,
him.
Skybird Bravo Alpha Whiskey 186.
That's another beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, we've got the little marshal now. Slowing down. That's it. And parking brake. You can see him now. Parking brake is set. Engines into neutral. APU bleed is on. Should I switch that off? APU bleed is on. So now the engines can come off. Let's connect the terminal, open the door. Let's get all their other stuff going. And how much actually wants to come out to us. So parking brake. Parking brake is set. I'll fix the door now. APU bleed switch is on, anti-ice is off. Seatbelt signs can come off. Brake fan. Well, but randomly that brake is quite hot, so let's put that on. Welcome to Manchester. As you can see, the crews are now busy getting all the cargo off. Or on, it looks like that. Getting the K3 back onto the aircraft. And the passengers are disembarking. So we've now got normal brake temperatures, so the brake fan can come off. Looks like I've lost internet. Never mind, done now. Okay, beacon can come off. Navigator lights can come off. That can go off. So now sort of securing the aircraft. Road window heat can come off. These can all. Okay, I've got ground power, so I'm going to engage that. Turn off the APU bleed, which means I can switch off the. Oh, we're back on. I can switch off the APU master. Ground recording come off, cruise flight can come off. Just doing our flows. That can come off. As you can see, we've lost all our navigation data now. Pretty on the basis that I've switched them off. Okay, looks like the aircraft's done. So I'm just going to wait for that APU to switch off, and then we can fully shut down the aircraft. Well, thank you everyone anyway for joining me on this flight. Anyone that is watching, lovely to have you along. I say I like spending quite a lot of my time watching other people's videos. When you get to learn something, probably not on mine, so you get to just see how the game works. Really, if you think about buying the game, you know, it has got flaws. You get a lot of people moaning about things, but overall, it's a fantastic game with fantastic scenery. The more you ask from it, you know, more likely you are to have something go wrong. So using this model, it uses a lot more than the base model. You've got the live weather, you know, at the moment terrain and weather aren't working on this, but I think that's because they're, I don't know if they're doing their own spin on it, making it better. You know, overall it's fantastic. When you get your own payware scenery like Gatwick, it's very well detailed. I've got a few other airports that are detailed. Some are free, some are payware. You start getting a more detailed aircraft, and there's YouTube videos for absolutely everything. And your equipment, you know, you'll start finding different equipment, stuff that works for you. I use the Thrustmaster Airbus pack, as I said before at the start of the video, but I've also got a Honeycomb Bravo unit next to me, which I use for a lot of my prop aircraft. Just gives you that flexibility really to go between aircraft. But you know, the Bravo quadrant, it's got your gear lever, it's got your autopilot, it's got a load of switches that you can set to what you want them to. You've got your flaps, you've got your trim, and all your different levers which you can set and change the heads on. You can go between your power, your prop, your mixture, your flaps, your speed brake, or you can have 4 throttles if you like flying the 747. It comes with the Boeing controls. So drink there. Actually, the cat didn't bother us too much. I put her in a tree, in a cat tree, and she stayed there pretty much since. Fantastic, right? APU leads off. So now, ground control. Batteries can come off, and screw the aircraft. One button, external power off. And that is the aircraft switched off. So thank you very much for everyone joining me today. Sorry if there was a few mistakes, which there was, and the approach didn't go the way I wanted. I wanted an ILS approach, but nonetheless we made it down. Might have been a bit bumpy, but we made it down safely. First video, let me know what you think. Let me know things I can change. Let me know things you might want to see in the future. I hope to make a few more videos. If not already, follow my Instagram page. It's BD Sim Pilot, where I post quite a lot of photos from my flights. So thank you everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.